Yes.
Namaste.
Namaste. It's good to see you here.
See you. Trying to form into a question.
Mhm.
How, with things seem to be either in truth or kind of in distraction, and I get caught up in suffering, like suffering not of self but of others.
Mm-hmm.
How I can't seem to wrap myself around it of what it doesn't fall under distraction, and it's very much a distraction to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, when we have felt pain in our own lives, we don't like to see suffering in other people's lives. Okay? So yes, in a way it can be a distraction. It can keep you sometimes from looking at your own life and your own things, you know? Sometimes that's the case. With people, they want to go out and save the world, yet they can't save themselves, you know? I'm feeling my pain, and therefore, you know, that projection, I don't want to see anybody else suffering. Okay? So we have to understand that, yeah, we can do what we can do for them, but they have to be willing to come out of their suffering. Okay? We can give them tools to help them come out, but they have to want that. And some people don't want to come out of their suffering. They may say they do, but it's become their identity. And if they lost that, they wouldn't know who they were, because they've made it so much a part of their identification. Okay? So one develops compassion on the path. But compassion doesn't always mean I'm an empath and I have to feel all of their suffering. Yeah, sometimes we feel it. We feel their suffering, but don't get caught up in it. Because when you get too caught up in it and too identified with it, then you don't have the sight to see how to aid others to get out of their suffering. Okay? I hope that helps some manner. You might want to read the book, the one that I just recommended for people. What was the name of that? That one about heart by Sharon Salzberg.
Loving kindness.
Loving kindness. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. You can wish the best for them, you know, and hope the best for them. And be happy for people that are, you know, in happiness as well. Not only just have the heart for the suffering ones. Yes, nobody wants to see anyone suffer. You know, we wish we could get everyone to realization and get them out of their suffering. We wish we could get humanity to open their hearts, you know, so they would help others and, you know, get out of the egotistical side of it. But even more than getting out of the egotistical side of it, get them beyond ego. I think people confuse egotistical and ego sometimes. Ego is being this confusion that I am this separate entity that has a body and a brain, and I am these conditioned thoughts. That's ego. Now somebody can be in ego and be very demonstrative and giving, but they're still in ego. Okay? So when I'm talking about ego, it has nothing to do with egotistical and being, you know, that is not what I'm talking about. Ego is the confusion that you're a person, a persona, and that duality is the reality, is the only reality. Okay? And don't take that I have something against duality. It's the other flip side of the coin, the expression of that one. Okay? When everything blows out at first, all you see is that one, and then you have a tendency to discount the transient realm. And this is what happened with Sankaracharya, very famous. His earlier writings, he discounted everything in the transient as unreal, has no reality. But towards the end of his life, as he became more seasoned, then he wrote the Ode to Shakti and the beauty of Shakti, because then he was experienced the fragrance of it and realizes it's not two, what's not two. This is the fragrance and the expression. Okay. So it's, again, once one goes to realization, there are steps in that as one starts to season, you know, as things go further. It deepens, it changes. Okay. So that's why you'll see some difference in the writings of some sages, depending on whether they wrote things from being newly realized or whether it was a little later in the journey. Okay. So now we have nothing against duality. Okay, the transient's a very fun place. Okay, a lot of experiences. Can be very much enjoyed. It becomes the play of God. Before realization, it's not the play of God. It's struggling. So it's a total change that takes place, a total change in consciousness. Okay. Nothing's thrown out. So I think we've about ended our questions for the day, unless anybody else has any question or topic. And if not, we'll go ahead and have a little meditation time. We'll just sit in a little quietude. Master, thank you for coming today.